Hi, welcome to Lodestone. This is Mark Hooper. And in this session, we're going to colorize an old black and white photo in Adobe Photoshop. The topics we're going to cover in this demo include going into layers that we've created above the original photo layer and applying color to those layers. Then we'll use the blend mode of color to blend those down onto the original photograph. And then finally, to fine-tune it, go in and adjust the opacity of individual layers if you need to have additional blending down to the original. So let's get started. So here's the black and white photo that we're going to use. And let me give you a little information about the photo that I'm using today. My spouse's family had a resort in the early 1900s where we're located here in the Hudson Valley, Catskill area of New York. And this was a favorite summer destination for people to come up and spend their summers. And this particular picture was used as a promotional picture for the resort, and it's taken here at this natural pool that they built in the stream bed. And I've often looked at this photo and said, I'd love to be able to go in and add some color to this photo and make it even appear like it could have been taken last week. And I thought you would be interested in seeing how to go about doing this process. Now, I've already gone through and determined colors, and I've already created some layers where I've already colorized those layers. So I'm not going to do the entire photo. I'm going to do a couple of things, but the technique is the same. So I have a few layers also. Let me show you. I have extracted a couple of our swimmers here and filled in the area behind them. You'll see if I remove these two layers that the two individuals that were there on the dam wall, I went ahead and extracted and then filled in with the healing tools, just so that I can be able to paint the water and area around them without having to worry that I am crossing over into where they are. So I'm going to keep those hidden for just a few minutes. And I'm going to start here. I've created a layer called the foreground shrub, which is going to be this area located right here. And I've already determined the color that I want to paint it. So with that area selected, just going to grab my paintbrush and I'm going to paint with this color that I want to paint the shrubs. And again, I need to make sure that layer is turned on. And now I'm ready to paint. I'm going to adjust my brush size by coming up to the brush size area. I'm just going to bring this down. Now, another way that you could do the brush sizing is also using the regular brackets on your keyboard, which also allow you to size the brush up and down. So I'm just going to come in and paint with a feathered brush here on top of these leaves here, the foliage. And I think I actually take the hardness level up. I'll take my brush size down to get the edges here. And just painting right here on top of this foliage. So it looks like just a blob of color on top. This is going to come to life here in just a moment. I also have a layer here called Pool Water. Let me select that layer and turn its visibility on. And I'm going to switch to the color that I have also here in my color palette. And with the paintbrush, I'm going to come in and paint over the water. And if you get a little bit of crossover, it's okay. Just going to paint through these areas here of the water. You can see this is another reason why I wanted to extract those two individuals that were sitting and standing on the wall so I could get behind them without having to go around them too much. I'm going to take my brush size down and get into some of these details. So you'll see also why I decided not to color the entire photo for this lesson. But the technique is the same. It can be, time consuming here getting everything done. But I think you'll really appreciate what we end up with here. Let me take my brush size up a little bit more and fill this area. And just finishing up here, I'll take my brush size down just another little bit. And you can also use your shift key. I just did a straight line by clicking in one area to add paint. Hold down the shift key and go to another area and it adds a straight line. and just finish off here with a little bit more. And this is where the magic is going to come in. So the key to getting this to work and to appear correctly is using blend modes that come with inside the layers panel here and blending these colors down onto the photograph below. Let me bring back my models here, and let me also show you the other layers that I've painted ahead of time. I've got the flesh tones that I've painted on top of our swimmers. I've painted the grassy lawn area, the treetops, the concrete wall, and a little bit of sky in the background. So it just looks like a lot of blobs of color. I'm going to go through and I'm going to command select, or on the PC control select, these layers that I've applied color. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to select the models, just selecting all the layers that I've added color to. And rather than have their blend mode be normal, I'm going to change it to the blend mode if I scroll down here toward the bottom of color. And you can see that magically now it is as if this picture were taken just recently. And you may want to go back to individual layers, say with the pool water. If it's a little too blue, you might want to go to the opacity and take the opacity level down a bit to let it blend a little bit more into the black and white photo. But as you can see, it looks like a very beautiful shot that may have been taken recently here at the resort pool. Thank you for being with us at Lodestone, and for further training, visit us at www.lodestone.com.